So when I try to follow directions, you know. I'm Cheryl Oliver, professor here at Howard University, and just so happy and pleased that you are here with us today. I could call all the names that are here, but so happy to see the parents and Connie Frazier from the AAF and Melissa, and Professor Johnson, and also Professor Fancher, who's from the chairman's office. So we want to celebrate the students today because this is their day, and they did a wonderful job over the past 2 weeks. And I'll try to hold my composure and not have any, misty eyes, but I've gotten to know all of them. They're just gifted. We would love to have them here at Howard University. Well, we Professor Fancher and Johnson,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
As I love to have them here in our program. They're fabulous and brilliant. Each one of them, I told them that they have individual gifts, and as they were working in teams, I guess tried to coach them on trying to find the gift in each one of them to bring out. So right now what we're going to do, they learn so much, and you have the programs and you've seen their curriculum. Now you're going to see a culmination of a lot of what they've learned, and I believe you will be truly impressed. And I know that the client, once they see this video in the agency, they will be truly impressed. So right now we're having 3 presentations. Each group has 30 minutes, approximately 20 minutes to present, and about 10 minutes for Q&A. So the other team members of AdCamp can also ask questions, as well as anyone from the audience. So we're going to present our first team, and I'll let them tell you about themselves. So if we can give them a hand as they...
Hello everyone, good morning. We are TLK Advertising. My name is Kimberly Weaver, and I am the project manager.
My name is Naya Hamilton. I'm the research manager.
My name is Bree Dalton. I'm creative director.
And I'm Brianna Boykin, the media analyst.
And today we are presenting our campaign for the Motorola Droid Razr Max.
Okay, so a little bit about Motorola's history. They were established in 1928, so they've been around for just under 85 years. They have a long history of innovation. They created many of the first things. They were the first to put man on the moon. They sponsored Neil Armstrong. They were the first to create the portable radio in the car and the portable cell phone, which many of you guys know as the brick phone. They also created the first pager, if any of you guys had that at your time. They won several awards like Emmys for their creations, and they are top 5 in the market. So Motorola's great, right? What's the problem? They're actually viewed now as outdated. Many of them seem like they're related to the old Razr phone, the flip old Razr phones. Are like, they were good at that time, they're respected, but they're not very current. So because of these problems, they're actually had an 86 million net loss over the past year. And so, approximately 162 million people own cell phones in the U.S. alone. And 56% of these consumers use their cell phones for non-talk functions like the calendar and the clock. And so cell phones have become a necessity now because people, they use them as cameras, and anything that you would use other devices for, it's all in the cell phone now. So our target market, the millennials, they dominate the cell phone industry. Many of them possess the most cell phones. And our top competitor for Motorola is the Apple iPhone. It's really sleek design, it looks nice, it's great, and it has great brand recognition. So when people see an Apple symbol, they know this is going to be something great, this is going to be something new and innovative. And the other main competitors are HTC and Samsung. They have the HTC One X and the Samsung Galaxy S2. And they have similar shapes. They feel comfortable in a consumer's hand, and they target both audiences, the males and females. So the Razr Max is considered the best of all of Motorola's phones, but it's 5th in the market right now. And Motorola, the expectations for this Razr Max is really high. They expect this to be #1. It has the same features as the iPhone, same features as the HTC One X and the Samsung Galaxy S2. But the reason that we believe this phone isn't doing so well is because it's under-advertised, and many people don't know of its capabilities.
Okay. I'm going to do the SWOT. So the SWOT stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. Some of the strengths of the company are their rich tradition through their history of innovation, which lets the customers trust them. he died, had set place blueprints for different phones coming out. Also, they are perceived as old-fashioned, which makes the millennials 15 to 24 think that they're old. Also, the brand is masculine because of the big phone and the big screen. Some of the opportunities for Motorola are to launch the Droid Razr Max, and through their features such as the lightweight, the battery life, and the sleek view, that's going to increase their profits. Lastly, the threats of the company are that the intense competition with Apple, iPhone, HTC, LG, and Samsung, which they're also perceived as a more innovative brand, so it's a more reputable brand as well.
Okay, so Motorola has made a big change in their phones by making a phone that has a battery that lives and lasts as long as you do. So Tilkey Advertising has come up with an idea to build off of that. We've come up with the Live Longer campaign, which is basically saying your phone can live and last as long as you do. We've also come up with 2 bucket ideas to branch off of that. First is the Live Longer, Live Farther campaign, which is basically building off of the fact that you can go anywhere you want and not have to worry about your battery dying and have to worry about where you're going to charge your phone and if you're going to be able to have your phone last as long as you do. Our second is the Live Longer, Live Lighter campaign, which is basically building off the phone and its sleek and light feel. Also, we want to partner with Michelle Obama with her Let's Move movement because there's a lot of issues with obesity in America, and because we have a phone that lives and lasts as long as you do, we want to be able to say you can move around and get active with your phone. Because let's face it, if you have a phone that is battery that lasts 21.5 hours, you don't want to just sit around and wait for it to die.
Okay, so some of the objectives of this campaign is to build awareness for the phone. We definitely want to let people know, this phone is great. It's just as good as anyone else. And we want to get people excited and create a lot of interest for this phone. Show them that this phone is good as the iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S2. And also to provide information about the features and show them that it can do the same, it has the same capabilities as any of these other phones. And to reinforce the Motorola brand so that people know they're not outdated and they're not old. They still have really great products. And of course, it all comes back to the ROI, so we want to generate sales and revenue.
Okay, so we've done a little bit of research and looked at how millennials, our target audience, uses their phones. We have found that 45% use their phone for online web browsing, and 55% use their tablets, actually, to read advertisements, to get news, to find information. We also found that smartphones make up 5% of in-store sales, which the market is dominated by tablets, and 46% of millennials watch TV on an actual television, compared to the 54% who watch it on their mobile devices. We've also found that tablets have become the preferred method of online web browsing in the home, replacing even computers. So using this information, we have developed a social media campaign. Motorola challenged us in our creative brief with creating a digital campaign focusing on social media and really incorporating that into how they market the Droid Razr Max. To do this, we have created a Twitter, which we have a picture of. Can you pull that up? We have created a Twitter. Many millennials use Twitter. It's one of the most popular social networking sites for people in our age group. Well, look at Twitter then. And Twitter can be used really interactively because the Motorola Razr, has a wonderful camera. We would encourage people to take pictures, tweet out, hey, where are you guys traveling to these days? It's summer, show us where you're going, and have people send back tweets taken on their phones of where they're going. Maybe they're going to the beach, maybe they're going to see family. Get people really involved, get interaction. We can feature some of the best ones. Likewise, we have an Instagram for a similar purpose, because Instagram is only on the mobile, and there's about the same amount of people who use Twitter and Instagram, so we want to capture both sides of the market. So we have both those where we can ask people to come do contests focusing around where they're going, and also if we were to get involved in Live Longer, Live Lighter, we could have people show us on your journey of how you're exercising, if you're running a marathon to get in shape, hey, what are you eating? What healthy foods are you eating? We can really get people to interact with us this way. We've also created a blog spot. The Motorola website isn't really conducive towards asking questions and getting answers. And I don't know about you, but when my phone is dead or when my phone's not working, if there's trouble, I don't want to be sitting around trying to call somebody up, trying to go someplace, trying to get my phone working again. I want to be able to be in my own home and say, what can I do? What's wrong with my phone? Do I need to get a new one? Do I need to change the battery? What's going on here? The blog could be a great way to do that. Blogspot, as you can see, we have created a blog spot for the Droid Razr Max. It is the most used blogging platform of millennials because it is linked up into Gmail and Google, so you can just create it all under one, as we have done. People could come ask questions, receive answers. We could build up an FAQ and really just get people to know that we're here for them to support their phone, because if your phone's not working, who cares what your battery life is if it's not working? So you really want to have that support system, and having a blog really builds that. The final social media site that we've created is our Facebook, because Facebook is still used by 7 billion people. So it's still a highly used social networking site. And it can become a home base for our Live Longer campaign, where we can center all of the tweets, make sure everyone is fully aware of all the contests that are going on, make sure everyone is fully aware of the blog, make sure everyone is really interacting. We can have people write out stories. Again, as we did with pictures, have people do stories and feature them on the Facebook and the blog. It's just another way to really get people involved and really get people to know what's going on around them. We've also used digital advertisements, again on Facebook, because Facebook is so widely used. People will see it. We just want people to keep seeing Motorola Droid Razr Max, Motorola Droid Razr Max, live longer, live farther, live lighter. We want to put that everywhere. So we want to have on Facebook, we will have YouTube and Vivo pre-rolls, which our creative director has a picture, a storyboard of such a pre-roll. Would you like to share that, Bree?
Okay, so basically what we're showing here is that the target audience, millennials, they like to move around, they like to be out and living, and they don't want to have to worry about their phones. So what we have is our person has woken up, they get a text message saying that there's a party. It's early in the morning, they're ready to go, they're partying with their friends, and they're like, hey, I still got X amount of time left on my phone, so why not go and travel somewhere new? So they travel, they hop in their car, they head to the road, and they find themselves in New York City. And basically this is just showing how the phone can last as long as you do, no matter what you're doing, no matter what adventure you're going on.
And that would be a part of our Live Longer, Live Farther campaign, to show that the phone stays with her when she wakes up, when she goes to the party, when she's going out for a drive, when she's traveling. It is always there. On YouTube and Vivo, pre-rolls can be from 17 to 30 seconds, and they must be watched before the user can watch the video. So commercials like this could really go as pre-rolls and also as just straight up commercials on the television. So that's part of our Live Longer, Live Farther campaign. We also have ads on Pandora Internet Radio and ads on the tablet, because research has shown that most millennials, when they find out about a product, they find about it first actually on their tablet, not even on the TV, on the computer. They see it on their tablet on the little ads at the bottom of an app or of a game. That's where they first see it. So if we can capture their attention right then, if they see our slogan, if they see 21.5 hours of battery, living longer, if they see how it can impact their life, and we catch them there, that can be a really amazing thing. Of course, we also want a very integrated media. We don't want to just stay with the internet, because teens, millennials are still watching television. They haven't abandoned it totally. For this reason, we also recommend putting ads on television, as we mentioned, similar to the ad that Bree showed us. Between 5 and 11 p.m. on networks such as the CW, ABC Family, NBC, A&E, we did primary research. Those were the most watched networks of millennials during that time. We can further advertise there. We can put up more videos about, more ads about traveling, going places, seeing the world, as well as weight loss, losing weight, staying lighter with your phone by your side. Because not only do millennials watch these shows, but adults watch it too, and just people in general. These are great networks, and we should be capitalizing on it. Also, cell phones. Research has shown that cell phone advertisements on NBC are not that high. They don't make up that much of the cell phone market, so that's really not something that's been touched upon. Similar to Twitter, most cell phone companies are not putting ads on these networks. I don't know why, but they have not yet. So that's a place that we can really explore. Since people are watching it, that's where we should be. So in conclusion, our Live Longer campaign would build an awareness about Motorola's rich past, steeped in tradition, create excitement about its future, its innovation, provide information about the Razr Max's great features because people don't seem to know what all that it has to offer, to reinforce the modern nature of the brand and see a positive ROI. So we are TLK Industries, and this is our vision for the Motorola Droid Razr Max. Thank you.
So do you have any questions?
I was just wondering, any particular shows on those specific networks you mentioned that would best target your audience?
Pretty Little Liars, Dance Moms, things such as Big Brother, The Amazing Race reality TV shows. Across other networks that we also saw things such as Jersey Shore. We also saw things on BBC America. The show Supernatural was highly popular. Criminal Minds is another highly popular show. Things like that. Was there any others? I think Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl was another popular one. So in those time slots. Yes.
Okay, I was wondering where you get TLK advertising from.
Well,
Okay, thanks.
Lauren, you guys want to answer that?
Well,
Yes, Gail, go ahead.
we really like the color teal, and it's a more innovative, more modern color. And the key was to unlock modern innovations.
Oh, very creative.
Yes.
What was one of your greatest insights in putting together, creating the campaign?
I think it was important, and I think it was interesting knowing that we're in the age group, we're in the target market. So I think being in the market, we could kind of understand the results that we were getting, and also be a little bit surprised by some of the results. So I think that was an interesting balance, that us having insight into the age group that we were looking at, and then also our research giving us insight almost into ourselves, into our habits, because when we did our primary research and we surveyed people about their television habits, what they watched when they watched it, they were saying these shows, and I thought, I watched that too. I watched that during that time, and it was really relatable. So I think that worked well. Being in the target market, we could contribute a lot, and it could tell us stuff that we didn't know. Yes.
Of all the different social media platforms that you've used to, launch your Live Longer campaign, which one do you think should be like priority if you had a minimized budget?
Priority? Well, social media.
Yeah, probably Twitter or Facebook because it reaches more people. As of the 7 million she said.
I agree. I think Twitter, because Twitter has such a long reach, and also because people tend to put their Twitter feeds on other sites, on the side of their Facebook, on the side of their blog, so then people could see our hashtag Live Light Longer, and that I think could spread it faster than if we just put it on Facebook, or if we just put it on even Instagram. I think Twitter would be a good thing to focus on. Also because most other Samsung, LG, HTC, they don't have very many followers on Twitter. They don't have many advertisements. It's kind of an unexplored realm, sort of, for advertising for cell phones. So if we could capitalize on that and really take up that market, that could be really beneficial if we could kind of own Twitter as a cell phone brand.
Great response.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
So how amazing was that? So they've all tricked us, right? And disguised themselves. They're college students, really, right? They're not in high school, and the parents back there, you just made all that up. The various schools. I mean, the parents who are in the room while the next group is setting up, if the next group can come up. So I'm Captain. What were some of the parents amazed at, or some of you in the audience, from the presentation? Because remember, they've only been here, you've been bringing them for 2 weeks, and twice we went to New York, and a lot of them have never been exposed to the advertising industry. So what were some of the insights from the parents and some of you sitting out in the audience? I'm going to pick on Kimberly's mom first.
I think that just the statistics that they were able to come up with, the statistics, I think that was really good. And I like that campaign of Live Light, Live Longer, because the buy one just for that battery.
I have that on tape.
So it works.
Absolutely.
You hear that, advertising agency? An idea
I'm
works.
just excited because she's buying a new book.
But I think that's an important feature, and they really captured that. I felt like that was captured in that. So.
Any other comments from parents? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you said college students, because I just took a course and did the SWOT, and I'm like, wow, we know all of that. So it was interesting.
We teach them all that stuff, yeah.
How they worked well together, and it wasn't just concentrated on this side of the room and that side of the room. Everybody participated in the presentation.
Absolutely, yes.
I was really impressed with, like, to piggyback off that, with the ladies at the back, with the terminology and things we're using. The SWOT analysis and a pre-roll.
Oh,
A
yeah.
pre-roll.
How many of you didn't know what a pre-roll was?
I call it a stupid ad.
All of them attended college, so. I just, any other thoughts from, yes?
Yes, I'm impressed with the teacher because it was you who inspired them and who gave them this information in such a short period of time. It really is, like you said, they only been here 2 weeks. You've traveled to New York twice, and it's really impressive to see them with so much information in such a short period of time.
Wow.
So thank you.
Well, thank you for the compliment, but it's not all me. I wish I could say that. It's a team. Professor Johnson, if you can stand, any of the facilitators who are in the room, if you can stand. She's also a professor here at Howard University. Plus, you'll meet her later, see her. She's like, I call her chameleon. I should put something on her back that says that. But Melissa Wong, if she could stand, she's with the AAF, and she put together a fabulous program. So we had agency and people from agencies and things who all facilitated too. What my role was in those of us at Howard University was to tie the thread together of what they've learned, because it's one thing to attend different lectures and sessions, but it's another thing to say, okay, now let's bring that back. Let's bring it back to our case study. What does it mean? Now, Professor Frazier, who's the COO of the AAF, she will always be Professor Razor Frazier because she was here at Howard. It's now that she set the stage of the advertising industry, now let's morph you into this area, and what does that mean to that? So that was our role here, to try to tie the thread together and to give them a full comprehensive academic experience, both experiential and theoretical. So I believe that the next group is ready for us, and they've also disguised themselves as high school students, and we want to bring them to you right now and let them introduce themselves. So please give them a warm welcome.
Well, hello, I'm Calandra Tate.
My name is Shannon.
And my name is Maya Ennis, and I'm the account planner. And I'm the research manager. So we're introducing the Motorola Razr Max presented by our advertising agency.
Tosh.
Yes, Tosh. We got the name from mustache. You might ask why. We're not really sure. We just like mustache, and then we're like, okay, let's think about it. Going backwards, a mustache is a classic, and we just took the end of the word, so we're kind of like reinventing it and making it more urban. So that's how we like to think of ourselves. And Channing will explain the history of Motorola for you.
Okay, I'm doing the history of Motorola. So Motorola was created in Chicago, Illinois by Paul Galvin and Joseph Galvin. Motorola was created for the world's first commercial portable cellular phone during the first decade of the 21st century. Cellular phone popularity raised. Motorola is a very strong company and is creating new and better products to stay in competition.
Well, I will explain consumer. I will explain consumer. Consumer, they like internet, they like fast service. They like apps. They love when the internet is researched, it's really fast with research and everything. Consumer, I believe they want new ideas, they want better apps, they want fast internet, and I believe the Motorola Razr Max can, they introduce all of the apps that they want, the internet, the fast service.
Let me explain let me take a step back and explain the product for a second. And earlier last year, Motorola introduced the Motorola Razr Max, and it lasts 21.4 hours. And by comparison, the iPhone, their biggest competition, only lasts 4 hours. And so when you're using your phone, you never have to worry about looking for an outlet or having to bring your charger with you everywhere. So going back to the competition, for the iPhone's video, it only lasts 9 hours. The music lasts 5 hours, and navigation lasts 4 hours. And the iPhone is now the it phone. So Motorola's biggest challenge is to take its spot, basically, and become the it phone.
For research, I did primary and secondary. For primary, I called a couple of my friends, like eight friends, 4 girls and 4 boys. And some of them said they didn't know anything about the Motorola Razr Max. So I'm like, they're not any help. So some of my friends was like, I like the fast internet. I like how internet is like a good resource for when I need to research on the go. And also, I like the apps. You can get Instagram, Twitter, music, and everything. And also, for the girls, they like the camera, the front and back, and also the apps. And also for the guys, they like the big screen where you can touch, and it's not like it's a huge keyboard, and touchscreen is not really hard to touch. So, and then for secondary, I just listed some sites that I went to get my resources. For SWOT, I did strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For strength, it's very respectable and reliable, even though it's old. And it's well known in developed countries. And it's well respected. It has a wide range of products like the phone, the radios, like the Wi-Fi, the cable box. And the quality product it has a lot of quality to the products. And for weaknesses, some of the products that the Motorola produced are not very user-friendly. They're hard to use. And the sales are like declining because they're not producing a newer kind of product. Like the iPhone, they introduced the iPad, the Mac. And some of the employees that they bring in are not educated or trained, so they just come in and just do it. They don't have any training or education to them. And the brandware is not really good because Motorola it's like I said, it's old, and it's just Motorola. It's not really any catch to it. Like the younger, like 15 to 24 millennials, they're really like Motorola. It sounds old. It doesn't sound all like that. And the threats the competition is very strong. The iPhone, like she says, the it phone. So people are going to go for the iPhone more than the Motorola Razr Max because it's pretty, it has a nice screen, it navigates, but really Motorola Razr Max has the same apps, but it's thinner, and it's like just like the iPhone. It's just the iPhone is the it phone, so it's like everybody's going to go for the iPhone instead of the Razr Max. For the target market profile, we